I never really feel any pressure to create music, especially not a debut album. I understand the idea behind, this everything being put into this, but not really, As an artist, the important part isn't your music, it's who you are and it's your life. We might speak on an album when we speak on an artist that we love, but more than likely it's the personal connection or, the reflection that we see when we look at them. With that being said, you can't ever go wrong. It doesn't matter what your music sounds like as long as it's what it was supposed to be. So you gotta try to focus on putting the most of yourself in the music and doing the most that you can to come off as if you are in your most pure state, for lack of better words. And that's really my only concern, just try to make it what it's supposed to be. It might be horrible, but as long as it is what it was supposed to be, I'm fine with it. The one thing I tried to do with this album, and Senorita was one of the first songs we did, probably was like the third or fourth song we recorded, is I didn't want to tell any stories or convey any messages, because that's not the important part to me. I wanted to stay as close to reality and the mood of what the music was supposed to signify. That's what I wanted to stay closest to. So if someone asks what the message was behind those songs, there aren't any messages. What the message is what the words say. Literally take every word in a literal sense. And the literal nature of in which things were stated is what gives it its meaning. Because meaning what you say is a very important thing in just American culture, humanity, and especially where I come from, you have to mean what you say. And to me, that was the message that we kind of went about with that. The video sparks other ideas and interests, but literally, it is whatever it looks like, that's what it is, because there are always going to be different angles. There could be one thing happening, but there could be one event. The event doesn't matter. What matters is the point of view. There's something happening in the middle of the street. What's it like for the dude inside of it? What's it like for the dude down the street? What's it like for the dude in the house viewing it from the second floor? What's it like for the child that, in the event? That's what changes the story. So there were no real messages behind any of those things. A lot of people ask me, like, who are my influences and who influenced my music, and I often say no one, and I don't take it I don't mean it in a way of being arrogant, but my question to them will be, if you don't agree with that stance, then listen to my music and tell me what it sounds like. Because that's going to be a very hard thing for you to do. And I'm not saying it's better or worse, because I don't think any music is good or bad. I just think it is what it is. Is music factual? Is it what it needs to be? Does it relate? Does it reflect that person? You look at Steven Tyler, you listen to those songs, you can't tell me that's not him. You can't tell me that's not that band. You look at John Lennon, you listen to those songs, you can't tell me that's not that band. You listen to a Little Richard song. If he didn't look like that, if he wasn't that person, if Elton John wasn't that vibrant person, if Adele wasn't that person, if Amy Winehouse wasn't that person, would their music be the same? And the answer is clearly no. So I think more so the focus is, just, sticking to what you know. Mr. No I.D. Deion's a very interesting person, a very exact person in the sense of he knows what he can bring, he knows what he can do, and it's never necessarily about him. It's never about money. It's about the music and about what comes from it. So it's honestly a very easy thing to do, an easy thing to continue doing as far as working with him, because it's not about anyone. It's mostly just about figuring out what we want to do and what the vision is, and just trying our hardest to try to complete that. So, it's great to be able to be around someone who's, done so much and has, remained to be himself and stayed, under the radar as far as the unnecessary things, because I guess we're similar in that way. So it just, it's a good sign of things to come if everything is done the right way. The process of recording this album was easy. It took not too long. It was a couple weeks, to be honest. But we met Clams doing something for him, and then we got the production that he offered on the album, and we recorded, and that was it. And mostly it was Deion, No I.D, DJ Dahi, and Brian Kidd in the studio for the bulk of it. Christian Rich at the beginning of it, they were there. And Adrian was in a couple sessions. It was, more of a trial and error. It was more conversational based than actually recording. We don't really record that much. So it was, it's just like another day, clearing out, any confusion we might have had about what was to be done or what was to be said, just through conversation and really explaining what I wanted everything to be and explaining what, life is and was, so that they could better kind of surround the elements that I was trying to input. Because the common thing in music that drives it forward is understanding. If you don't understand something, you won't like it. And that's just, you might like something because you don't understand it, which will spark interest, but it won't necessarily be close to you. You won't hold it close to you. So when you understand something, there's no way for you to go about it in the wrong way. It might not be the traditional way or the way that was assumed, but it'll be, once you know what it is, it's impossible for them to not be able to do their jobs. It's possible for me to not be able to do my job. So the studio session with those guys, just, probably the easiest ones I've been in so far. I'm Vince Staples, and you are on GRAMMY Pro.